Hello, friends. Welcome back. We are going to continue with our year in review. This is going to be April's page assembly. There's quite a few pages this month in here. Kind of fun. Right? Lots of pages. Okay, so we're going to get started. So grab your supplies. I'm going to kind of be digging around for mine as we go through here. So first of all, what we're going to look for is in your album. We always start with that 4x6 page. Before I started this, I should have rearranged a few things in my craft room just so that I had a little bit more space. So in your ephemera pack, grab your little April tag there and grab a 4x6 photo placeholder. Okay. Let me see, I think this one, let's see. This one's good for me. Okay, then we're gonna grab our mint cardstock. So remember I said to you, don't throw away any of your pieces. I'll show you here if we have that piece left. I'm digging through my scraps, guys. I'm digging through my scraps. So we had a piece that looks like this of the mint. All right. And what is fun about this mint cardstock, or about all of these cardstocks, is when you look at, see how the border, you have that, it shows the dots and whatever. We're going to use this. We're going to use this piece right here, okay, that has the border. See how it has the border and it has the dots, all right? And this looks to be the right length or the right width. So guess what? We're just going to take this and we're going to cut this piece. Let me tell you how wide it is, just in case you don't have it. It's 1.5 inches. We're going to cut it 6 inches. I love that. And then the other side has some of that same. Obviously, it can't be, we might use it as a 4-inch strip. You never know. Don't get rid of it. Don't get rid of it, guys. Okay. So for this one, we're just going to run this over here on the left side of that 4x6 placeholder. And then I went ahead and I've cut some glitter strips, 1/8 of an inch, because you know that I love my glitter. And I'm going to run it right between where the solid and the dots are. Just going to run it right along there. Just like that, okay? I'll save that. Okay, then this piece, bring this back up here. This piece is just going to go right here on my card, like so. And here is our first piece for April. That was easy. Who knew? Who knew? Be so simple, right? There we go. Okay. Oh dear, my pages are popping out of here. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just tuck this in our album. Next up, you have your 6x8 page right here. I'm gonna pull mine out. Okay, so now next up, we're gonna build this page right here. Okay, and I made this 6x8 1/4. The reason I did that is because I liked the way it fit in better with the page, like the way they lined up, okay, because the other pages were a little bit longer. So grab, look at how different that looks. What? Look at that. Wow, totally different shade. Same color. Can always tell when the dye lots are off. So now we're gonna cut this 6x8 1/4, okay? So we're gonna cut this 6. That makes me crazy too. I hate that because you wanna make sure all the pieces are the same. Oh dear, sometimes. All right, so we have a piece that's 6x8 1/4 of the cornflower blue. All right, then we need a piece of mint, and it needs to be at least 4 1/4 wide. So see what you have. Last month, remember, we cut this piece, okay, 4 1/4, and we want this piece to be 4 1/4 by, I think it's going to be 6 3/8. Yep, 4 1/4 by 6 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there we have that. And we need this little tag. We're finding all of our pieces, you guys. We're looking for all of our pieces. So remember, we cut apart our tags. Believe it or not, this is not it. Might be the smaller tags. Hold on. I think it's the smaller ones. Let me set these here. Oh, there's so many pieces. Right? Does it make you cray? Makes me a little crazy. Hold on, I'm looking for my tags here. My piece with my tags. I think it was a 6x8 piece that we took apart. Hold on, I'm looking, friends. I'm searching. Let's see. Huh. Very odd. All right, hold on. Let me just see. Let's see where it's from. It's the bigger tags. All right, let's just see. Hold on, we're gonna find it. I think I know what the problem is. I think I know. Here it is right here. Okay, so you want the tag that's like this, and then it has this on the back. That's why. Okay, so we've got that piece. 2 3x4s. 2 3x4 photo placeholders. We're gathering the pieces for this page. Then we want this flower piece. So let's see. I think I found it. Here it is right here. Looks just like this. Okay. Then this is a sticker, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. Oh, and of course I used this one on the page last month. You know, we don't want anything to be easy here, just to be clear. Oh, I need more room. I need more room to maneuver. All right, so for this piece is 4 3/8 wide. All right, so I think we need to grab another piece of mint cardstock because we don't have any scraps that are that, we don't have any scraps that are that wide. All right. Hold on 1 second. Grabbing another piece of mint out of my cardstock pack. And remember, if you guys are playing along and you didn't get the cardstock pack, use whatever colors work for you. All right. This one we're using mint. And I said 4 3/8 wide. I like to flip it the way it's going to be up, but I don't know if you guys do that. So it's 4 3/8 by 6 1/2. 6 1/2. Okay, then I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little 2x2s. Now, if you don't want to use 2x2s, I love 2x2 photos. I do. But you could also take, and it would look really cool, if you wanted to use a 4x6 photo and cut your photo into 2x2s. So cut it down the middle at 2 inches and then cut it again. Right? You could do like a collage that would be one photo. It would look super cool. Let's see. Let me see if I can find an extra photo that I have that's 4x6 that I'm not going to use anywhere. Sometimes I print pictures that I just really don't need. Here's one. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So you can take a 4x6 photo, cut it in half, and then cut it into 2-inch pieces. This one's an extra. So if you don't like 2x2s, right? You might not like 2x2s. But look at how fun that is. Isn't that fun? That is so fun. So you can cut a photo apart to make it fit and make a fun little collage, right? So you could do that with maybe a 4x4 and then use 2 little 2x2s, whatever. But there are fun things that you can do with these little 2x2s. Don't be afraid of them. I know a lot of you shy away from 2x2 photos, but I love them. I love using 2x2s. And if you don't have a printer that prints 2x2 photos, just take your photo a little bit back. There's so much stuff that you can cut away in a photo to make a 2x2. Let me see if I can find another example. Let's see, got a whole stack of photos here that are really nothing fancy. Let's see, that is a 2x2. And you still get a great picture, right? You still can see all of the things in a 2x2. So they are fun. They really are fun. All right, here's one. So this one's actually a 3x3, but I can cut away so much of this picture to make this a 2x2. And I know I'm going way off track here, but I just want you to be able to see that I don't want you to be afraid of a 2x2. So when you see that I'm using 2x2s, do not shy away just because I say 2x2. So now we've taken that because her little face is what's important to fit on a 2x2. And I can still trim away enough to get that little white border around my photo. All right? Do not be intimidated by 2x2s. Okay? This is her little face was what was important. Okay? So, and we didn't lose that. All right, so carrying on. I'm gonna grab my 6. My 6 little placeholders there. And then, because Bonnie used this on the other page because I couldn't find the other cute little flower collection. Now it's all going to be goofed up, right? The whole thing, because God knows what else I've used in here. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what to use because I don't want to. If you have this little flower combination, guys, if you have this one still, I used it on the last page last month because I couldn't find mine. But I'm going to again just create a little, and I'm probably using flowers that I'm going to need someplace else because as we learned earlier, for whatever reason, not all of these flowers are found. I'll just use these two. Not all of these flower kits are the same for whatever reason, and I'm not sure what the reason is, but I'll just use these. I guess it's just showing you that it doesn't have to be exactly the same. It still works, okay? It still works. All right, let's quickly build this page so we can move on, because this is a little bit longer. All right, so we're gonna start on the solid side. I'm gonna trim my tag. And do I need to clean up my scissors? They are sticky. grab my hole punch. If you want to add ribbon, you can add ribbon. I didn't. Okay. Isn't it funny how the die lots on paper are so different? It drives me bonkers. Like, it makes me kind of crazy. Especially when you have a store, right? And you're pulling out paper and it should all be the same. And yeah, it's not. So then you have to make sure that whatever project you're working on, your paper's all the same. Okay. I just want to leave a little gap here because I'm going to put my, I'm going to tuck my tag under. So I'm going to go in about a 1/2 inch, kind of centered top and bottom, pretty much centered top and bottom. Okay. I'm going to tuck my tag in here, right up to that line. See that line? I'm going to tuck it right in there. Just like that. Then I'm going to add this. I did not add any foam tape. Only going to put adhesive over here because I have no photos in here yet, right? And I want to make sure that my photos are going to be able to slide in there. And then I'm going to grab our sticker sheet that has all these fun little word phrases on it. Where did I put my sticker sheet? Oh, it's over here. Okay. And good times. Here it is right here. Good times. And I'm going to grab my baking soda and just that left side of that sticker. Take the sticky off. And then this part is going over here on the right, so I'm not too overly concerned. And now my photos can still slide under there. I can add some adhesive once my photo is on there. Like this looks about the same. This is definitely different on the back. That is mind-boggling to me. Okay. Let's just put our photo mat on here. Kind of just center it on your page. It's actually a little bit more towards the bottom than the top. The other thing I like about the dots is you can use your dots to make a straight line. That's nice. And then we're going to add our mats. And you're going to start by going in like 1/8 of an inch on these sides. Eighth of an inch on the sides. Then I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to do the same thing. And if it all works out well, this should fit in there really nice. And I'm going to kind of split the difference. Okay. All right. Then if you have this embellishment piece left, then by all means use that one. If not, grab whatever you found in there. I'm just going to set it here for a minute, like so. And I'm going to grab this sticker, Things to Remember. It's on your sticker sheet. It's right here. Things to Remember. This I popped up. Whoops. Situation. We're going to dip it. Dip, dip, dip. Okay. And I want this to come in here. And the reason I did this first is for placement of my flowers. Here, let's see. I just want a tiny little bit of this flower sticking out. So I'm just gonna go like this. I'm only gonna peel that left side off for right now because I do not want, I wanna be able to slide my photo. And then I'm just gonna tuck this in right here. And that'll be fine. It's not the same, but again, don't get hung up on if yours is not exactly the same. Don't get hung up on that, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna slide mine back in here and put it back in my album. And you're gonna slide your page into your album. This easily could go as part of March if you needed more pages. April has a lot. April has a lot of pages. So if you find that you need more for March, grab them and use them in there. All right, so the next page in your book will be this grid paper that came in your album. Grab mine out of the book. Okay, so on here, there's a lot going on here. What I did here is created a little pocket using this floral piece right here. This photo mat is attached. This is permanent, but you could add additional photo placeholders or photos in here. And these are gonna tuck right in here. And this flower is kind of holding these in place. All right. And then we just have a little photo on the back. All right, so let's gather our pieces that we need for this. So my tags are right here, so I'm going to grab the tag that I used. Let's see, this is probably going to be at the bottom, just about. So it's got this on this side, and then it has this on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna grab that. You need some more of that cornflower cardstock because we need some more mats. I have this piece left over. Let's see if I have any more left over. Oh yeah, lots. Yep, sure do. Look at, even in the same, look at, this one is different. I probably should not have even used that. Insane to me, crazy. Okay, I want a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 and a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm gonna use this long strip that we have left over. And whatever you need to use, we're gonna cut this 4 1/4. By 6 1/4. And then slide it for another piece that's 3 1/4. Save. Okay. So now I have that. So I have that. I need a 4 by 6 placeholder and a 3 by 4. So here I have a 4 by 6 and a 3 by 4. All right, I need this flower. Let's see, I think it's this one right here. Yep, so you want this flower. Oh, excuse me. So you want that. All right, you want that flower. And then for the back side, we want a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 out of this olive green. So find your scrap of olive. Let's see what we have. Okay, I have this piece here. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 4 1/4. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. All right, so I need that. I need another 4 by 6 photo mat, or photo placeholder, excuse me. I don't want to confuse you with the wrong terms here, but it is how I roll pretty much. This one I have to trim a little bit off. This was part of the bad measuring. Okay, and then we want these embellishment pieces. So let's see. So we have this piece here. Okay, and then we have this tall leafy thing, and then we have a little orange and a little red flower. So I'm looking. Here's a little red one. There's a little red one, and now I need an orange one. Let's see if this one's orange, not red. Yep, there's an orange one and a red one. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces together, and now let's assemble. Okay, I'm gonna grab my twine. You can use whatever twine. I have embroidery thread here. That's what I've been using. But use whatever you have in your stash. Let's layer these up. I think this album is so fun. I love it so much. I love these year in review projects. I started them a few years ago, and I love them. I think they are so, so fun. All right, so we're gonna start by attaching this 4x6, and this one is going to be mounted onto, it's stationary, so it's gonna stay here. So pretty much centered top to bottom, okay? Like this. All right. Then we're going to attach our flower. So the flower, you want adhesive down here and you want adhesive over here, okay? So in these two spots, this is where you want your adhesive. And I'm gonna use liquid glue simply because I'm making a pocket. I'm making a pocket and I don't want this to come off. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of liquid glue here at the bottom of this flower and over here on this right side. All right, and then I'm gonna place this like so. Here, let me pull these out so you can see kind of the placement. These leaves are kind of along that edge. And I've got my liquid glue in there because again, this is a pocket. It's kind of fun, actually, kind of fun. All right, I'm gonna trim up my tag. Use my cutter. I'm gonna clean up those rough edges a little from where we used our cutter. Just so it looks a little bit more finished. You know when you use your cutter, how you seem to get that groove on one side? That makes me crazy. Makes me crazy. Okay, I'm gonna poke this. Now I'm gonna take some twine and I just roughly fold it in half here. And always trim off any excess that I don't want. All right. And I take it and I bring it in here. And then I pull it through the loop. See that? Can you see that? All right. And I left mine a little loose. Mine is kind of loose there. Then I take and I loop it again. So let me see. Let me come up here a little bit. So then I take and I loop it again and I make a knot. Don't ask me why, it's just what I do. All right, so now here's my tag. This is my page right here, right? And then you're gonna take and you're just gonna stick these in here in your pocket. Isn't that cute? Super cute, super duper cute. If you want it to come over here more, be more upright, you can, because you have that gap over here. All right. Then from your sticker sheet with the months, grab that one. And you want April, right here, okay? And again, I'm gonna just stick the top part of April in my baking soda. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue right here along this edge. Oh, my glue needs to be. Need a pin in there. Okay. And then this is gonna go right about halfway. Okay. Just about halfway on there. Okay. Flip her over. Let's do the back side. And layer up our mat. Isn't that pocket with the flower? Isn't that fun? I think that's so fun. Then we're going to kind of center this on our page. Okay. Going to put adhesive over here on the left of this little banner. And this is going to come over here like this. Then I'll put a little bit of adhesive down here. You're going to want to go back eventually and you know, maybe adhere some of this down a little bit better once you add your photos. Then this little orange one goes up here. And again, I'm going to set this. I'm just going to add a little dab of tape so that I can easily pull this up when I go to place my photo. All right. And you may want to move this. You may want to put it someplace else once your picture goes on there. You don't want it going on somebody's face or something. Okay. Add that back into your book. Okay. Now we're going to build our calendar page. All right. This one we're going to need quite a few pieces. So grab 2 sheets of your dandelion cardstock. You're going to need 2 pieces. Where did I put my cardstock? Oh, here it is. Right here next to me. You want 2 sheets. Okay. And again, these are 6 3/4 by 8 and, well, this one's 8 3/8. I think the others I made were 8 1/4. Let's see. For whatever reason, let's see. Let me measure. Let me just measure. 8 1/4. 8 1/4. It's fine. Okay. 6 3/4 by 8 1/4. Oh. Doesn't this yellow just scream spring? April. 6 3/4. 8 1/4. Six and 3/4. 8 1/4. Okay, there we go. Let's use that page we just put back in our book as our template for punching our pages. I hate how the pieces don't fall out of this punch. Okay, just stick that back in the book now. Okay, so now I have my pages, right? Okay, now I need a piece of this orange paper. Let's see if we have a scratch first. Okay, you have this piece here. This is 2 inches. So we need a piece that's 2 inches by 8 1/4. 2 inches. By 8 1/4. Man, my hands are so sore, you guys. I've got arthritis in my hands. And let me tell you what, it is not fun. Anybody else have that? It's like right in here. Ugh, hurts so bad. All right, so we have that. Then we need this little card because it's cute. And it looks cute tucked in there. And you're gonna find that on this piece here. We haven't cut this yet. So we're gonna cut these apart. Okay, so we want this guy. Then we want a couple of photo mats. You can use any color you want. I use these. So I want an olive and I want a mint. Let's see. Let me see. This one is not going to be big enough. Nope. It is not. It is not. Let's see. Nope. Here's a piece of mint. So I'm going to cut this 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. This you can throw away. And then I need a piece of olive. Let's see. Because I don't have a scrap big enough to make a 4 1/4. By 6 1/4. Okay. I need a 3 3x4 and a 4x6 photo placeholder. Again, we're gathering all the pieces for these pages. Trim my little guy here. Okay. And you need your calendar. Grab your calendar piece. And then on the back, we need another 4x6 mat. 4x6 placeholder. And then we're gonna cut some strips that are 6 3/4 this way. This first one is using this blush. It's 3/4 of an inch. So find a scrap of your blush cardstock. Let's see what I've got. Let's see. Looking through my scraps. That's not long enough. Let's see. This is 6 3/4. Let's see. Nope, not long enough. Well, shoot. Shoot. Let's see, how wide is our red? That's an inch. I'm gonna grab some red because I found it. You need a piece of red that's 1 by 6 3/4. Piece of red, 1 by 6 3/4. Okay. My blush, I'm gonna have to grab a new sheet because for whatever reason, I can't find a piece of scrap. So I'm just gonna take and cut a 3/4 inch strip by 6 3/4. And then I need a piece of this corn flour. This piece is 1.5 inches wide. Let's see. I don't think I have any 6 3/4. Nope. Well, I'll be darned. I think what happened on this page, I think this was a page that I went back to because I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So I think that's what happened. This is a page I went back to and I was just using up scraps. So this is 1.5 by 6 3/4. And I thought, oh, well, that'll be cute. Okay. So we have that. Now this I made I have a thin cut that makes little tag toppers. So if you have something at home like that, then you could make something like this. And I'm gonna show you how to make something like a little tag topper if you don't have a die cut. All right, I want to show you how you can make something that will work perfectly in that situation, okay? Just like this. So this piece is 2 inches. So I'm just gonna take a piece of scrap and I'm gonna cut a 2-inch piece of scrap. All right. Now, my tag top, my little tag is not gonna look just like this. It's not. You could simply use this, right? I mean, you could totally use this. We'll talk about different things when we get there. How's that? I'm just gonna let that go for right this second. Find this piece in here. See it right here. There you go. And then if you have a little scallop border maker, you can make a scallop to go here, or you can simply just add a touch of glitter by running this type glitter along the top, okay? So if you have a scallop, grab a scallop piece. If you don't, then you're just gonna use a regular strip of glitter. If you find, sorry, you probably can't hear me real well. If you find a punch, like if you have a border punch or anything that makes a scallop, grab it. I use these little scallops all the time. They are one of my favorite things to use. I love the way they look. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces. Now we're going to, well, this is mine. Now we're gonna build. All right, now we're gonna build. Okay. I'm like, why are they over there? What is happening? Okay, so on this first page, we are going to make a pocket, right? A fun little side pocket. So you're gonna take your little flower strip here, all right? And it's gonna go here. You're gonna use some liquid glue. Mine's gonna be all clogged here, so this is gonna be fun. There we go. Gotta work now. And I'm gonna put glue around only 3 sides. Okay, 3 sides. Right along the edge. Don't get crazy. Don't use your glue like you're a kindergartner. Be very specific, very meticulous with your glue. You want this piece to go out the long side on the outside edge over here. Okay. You don't want your glue oozing out all the sides, all over the place. People think I'm crazy when I say that. It's like, come on. You have good muscle control. You don't want to make a big mess. Okay, you're gonna make your pocket. Then I've already cut another glitter strip and I'm gonna run that right down the edge of this orange flowered paper. You could use a scallop here too, if you wanted to. Be really pretty. If you don't like glitter, you could use a contrasting cardstock color. That would be nice too. All right. Now we're gonna take our photo mats. We're gonna layer these up. You want your glue to set up. So give it a second. cover up your mats. And these are getting tucked right in that pocket along with your little card. Again, there's room in here. You could add more. There's plenty of space in here to add more photos if you wanted to do that, right? Okay. Then open up your piece. Oh, yeah, I had it right in the first place. All right. And grab your calendar. Your sheet with your calendar on it. If you're not using the calendar, if you're not doing calendar pages, friends, then just leave it blank for more photos, okay? If you want it to be blank, if you just want to use it for photos, by all means, use it for photos. But you're going to cut your calendar pieces apart and then add them here to the bases. All right. So if you bought the calendar pages, cut yours apart, trim them down, and then you're going to add them like so. Okay. Then grab your sticker sheet with the months and find April. Okay. And again, I used foam dots to attach this. Okay, and it goes in the baking soda. Goes in the baking soda, friends. Okay. And then you're just going to put it right on here. Now, if April is a special month for you, and you want to be sure to have your dates available or different spaces, move it over here. You could put it over here if your little heart desires. You can put it wherever you want. Doesn't matter, okay? Whatever works for you guys. This is your project. Okay, so there's your calendar page. This can now go in your album. This side can go in your album. Tuck it right in there so it's out of the way. And now we're going to do the back side. All right, just going to line this up like this on my Versamat. Let's see if it's in the frame here. Yep, it is. And we're gonna put these strips on, okay? And I'm gonna use the Versamat so I can get them straight. Gonna start with this blush piece. And this goes 2.5 inches up from the bottom of the page. Next, I'm going to use the cornflower. Oh, that would be pretty if it was solid too. If you want it to, you can use either side, the dots or the solid. And on here, I just left like 1/8 of an inch in between. About 1/8 of an inch. And then comes the red one. And this one is 5 inches up from the bottom. Okay. Then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut this in half. I mean, honestly, we could have done smaller pieces of this if we wanted to. I'm going to put 1/2 here. And the other half here, because obviously this is not long enough to go all the way across. Yet, it's covered with a photo, so I don't need to worry. Okay. And I'm going to center this on my page, like so. All right. Now, here we'll add this. This is just going to go down here. It's just a little journaling block. Again, only adhesive on one side. That's just going to go there. Now, if you have a tag, thin cut or a punch or whatever that you want to make a little tag topper like this, go ahead and do that. If you don't, here's a couple of other options. You can just cut a little 2-inch strip of paper, add it just like that. Looks fine. If you want it to look more like a tag, you could gently fold, do not bend, or gently bend, do not fold this, and then just cut this on a very slight angle like this, so that when you open this back up, it looks more like a tag, right? And you can tuck that in like so. So there's a couple of different options for you. Whatever works for you, whatever you like, that's what you do. If you have a die that will work and you want to cut a top like this, go ahead and do that. If not, use just a strip of paper, or, you know, cut a little piece that's going to make it look like there's a tag tucked underneath there. Either option is going to work. Okay, now that's all done. Put that in your book. Pull out your next page. Here's your next page. Okay. Here's our little page right here. Okay. Grab yourself 2 4x6 placeholders. This is just for your photos. To trim these. I think I forgot to trim the last one. Okay. This top one, we don't do anything to, so go ahead and just slide that in. Then for this piece here, this is your zip strip. So see if you can find, I'm looking for mine, the zip strip from that piece of paper. Let's see, where is that piece of paper? Hopefully I see, oh, maybe I didn't even cut it off yet. I didn't even cut it off yet. Oh dear. Situation. I'm going to cut off this zip strip right here. Then I'm going to cut it to 6 inches. Okay. And this is going to go down here at the bottom. Now again, you're going to want to be able to slide your photo in. So you could do a couple of things. You could put this right in your pocket, And this could go on the outside on your memory protector. I did put the flower on the outside. Or I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of adhesive on the ends, right on the ends. And I'm going to add this, and I'm going to show a little bit of the white at the bottom where that photo would go. Okay, easy enough to lift this up, add my photo, and tack that back down. All right, then I'm gonna grab my glitter strip, and this is gonna go on the paper, on the orange paper. Okay, just like that. Easy enough to just pop this off, or if I trim my photo and have some of that white border showing, easy enough to do, right? It's easy enough. That's gonna go in there. And then I wanna find this flower. We forgot that one, sorry. Let's see. Here it is right there. And this guy I put on the outside. I attached him right to the memory protector, just like that. Quick and easy. That one was super easy. All right, that goes in your book. We're getting there. I know this is a longer one. This is the last one. This is the last page, okay? This is fun, 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 fun. Love this one. All right, so grab out of your album your paper. You should, we just tacked these in place so they knew where they went. We're gonna have to glue those on unless you've already done that part, okay? We want a tag. We want our tag. Here it is. So we want a tag. We want this flower. So one of these flowers. Okay. And you want a 4x6 photo placeholder, and we're gonna cut a piece of blush cardstock 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So see if you have a scrap that's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I don't think this one's long enough, maybe. Why, it is, sure is. And so this is 6 1/4, and I'm gonna make it 4 1/4. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna grab a photo placeholder that's 4 by 6. Okay, on the other side, okay, on the other side, we need some red photo mats. So sort through your pile, see what you got. If you come across your yellow bingo card, grab that like I just did. Mine was right here as I was sorting through the cardstock. This is 4 1/4, but I think I'm only going to be able to get the 6 1/4. So I might hang on to this. I might save that since I need 2 mats. I'm just going to cut another strip. that's 4 1/4 to get my 2 mats. 6 1/4 and 3 1/4. Okay. I need another 4x6 and a 3x4. Oops, broke that rubber band. A 4x6 and a 3x4. I know I've said it a million times, but I love this project so much. Okay. A piece of orange that is 6 by 1, 1 by 6. This piece of paper is 6 by 8. So I need a piece that is 6 by 1. So look in your scraps. See if you can find an orange strip. That's an inch by 6. I don't have any, so I'm going to cut one. I'm going to cut a strip that's 1 inch by 6. And if you want a piece of glitter, grab a glitter strip. Okay. This is our last page for April. This one had quite a few pages. All right, so now we have all of our pieces. Okay. I had just tacked this in place. I'm going to use some glue to attach this. You can use your tape runner. You can, if you want to. I think I've been using the glue right along on these chipboard pieces. I don't remember. We've already done a couple. If you haven't already attached yours, I'm going to the outside edge so that they're even. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to glue this side while I have my glue open. You could use this orange flower if you wanted, but we have this in the big 12 by 12. That's why I chose the other side of this paper. Thought it was super pretty. Okay. And when you're using liquid glue, just remember, make sure you rub it out because you don't want to have any like lines, right? You want to rub that nice and smooth. All right. Okay. Back to this side. Grab your blush mat and your photo placeholder. funny, when I first started doing this project, it was a bit overwhelming, right? Because you have so many pages, and once I broke it down and just decided like where I wanted these pages, it was so much easier. It became a whole lot simpler. So now take and trim your tag. Oh man, I need to clean my scissors. Got something on them. Not good, not good. Little punch here. Gotta get an alcohol wipe. Grab your twine. You're gonna make another little paper in there. Gonna tie it up. So loop goes through the hole, maybe. Through the hole, maybe. Come on, the struggle bus. Now I chose to have this side up for journaling, but if you want this side up, you totally can. Again, there's not a right or a wrong. I wanted a little more journaling in here. And then I make that second loop. Again, it's just cute. I just like it. Then I took a little strip of glitter and I ran it right here along this edge. Again, because it's cute, because I like it. It just gives it a little pop. The nice thing about this glitter paper too is, honestly, it doesn't like shed and make a huge mess. So I love it. All right, and then this just pops on here like so. And again, I didn't put any adhesive over here. I want my photo to be able to slide in there. And same with my flower. I don't want any adhesive over here. Okay, there we go. That's done. Flip it over. Now again, this time we're making a belly band. My nails, I can't pick things up. This time we're making a belly band so that we can slide stuff in and out here, okay? So to do that, we're gonna grab our glue again, because this, you don't want it going anywhere. And we're gonna put glue just on the ends, like so. Okay. And then we're going to stick it right on here. Want to make sure it's straight. That looks pretty good to me. Let that set up. And again, I'm going to take my glitter strip. I'm gonna run my glitter strip on the orange paper. You don't want it on the flower. You want it on the orange. Okay. Then let's layer up our photo mats. And you could put photo mats on both sides of this. You could have journaling on one side, right? So you've got photo spots on two sides. I just put it on the one side for now. But don't be afraid to use both sides of these photo mats because, again, they come out of the belly band. So you'll be able to, and you can put a photo on this side too, if you want. I just thought that was really, really cute. All right. And that, my friends, is, let's see, April, right? April. So hold on. I'm going to flip through here real quick. We'll flip through April. Here we go. So you have your little 4x6. Then you have your pocket page, your 6x8 pocket page. Your grid paper. We made a fun little pocket here. We have another pocket here. April, you have so much room for photos. Then our calendar is in here. Fun little page, pocket page, and your chipboard, okay? Just remember, you can move these around. Like this would be a good one to move to another month if you had too much going on in April and you needed some pages to go in one of the other months. These would be good ones to move around. This one too. You could move this one simply in front over here and have a whole nother page for March if you needed it. Okay? All right, that is it. All right, enjoy your night.